So Brisbane winning the toss. They kick to the left of screen. Here's White for Carlton. Clark and Allen to do battle. Not a good bounce. Tapped by Ashcroft, who's got the job on Bradley. Voss, Koutafidis, two important players today. Kouta with the first kick of the match to Allen, so that's the start. The Blues wanted, he was away. Manson's got it now. Scrubby old kick to full forward. Fraser Brown had a fair bit of it. Play on called, right decision. Didn't mark it, Kennedy. Good hands by Chapman to Dick Foss. Dick Foss wide, whistle blew. I think it's a free kick anyway. And White's away at centre wing. Laconic player. Couple of bounces. Runs too far, surely. Well, kicks the ball.
Kicks up towards 50. Coming out was Hickmott. Thought he had it. The veteran Dean swoops on it. Gives it across to Whitehead. So the Blues away. Kernahan's in front. He's got him in his sights. Good thump away by Lynch. Be an interesting duel. Lynch versus Stephen Kernahan. Let's go down the dipper. Who's on the interchange, Dip?
For the Lions, we have Adrian Fletcher, Nick Trask and Nick Carter. And for Carlton, we've got Rowan Walsh, Aaron Hammond and Darren Hume.
Allen and Clark. Allen probably won it. Clark got another hand on it. Bradley tried to tap forward. Voss there. Bradley high tackle. Play on called. Manton well done to Williams. Williams normally beautiful. That's superb. Murphy was down low. It was going to have to be a good mark, but one to be taken, I feel. Chapman boots to the line. Can't find it. O'Sullivan's a left footer. He's cramped up. Goes to his right. Centres the ball. Murphy the target. Had a fair bit of it. Lynch belted it from behind. Ratton's onto it with Brown. A couple of tough nuts for the Blues. Held up by the Lions. Good start to this game. Lynch there. And it's going to be a ball up. Left forward pocket. Carlton attacking. Fraser Brown, injury prone earlier this year, running into form and fitness, hopefully from Carlton's point of view. There's Clark. You expect that he'll be leading the South Australian Ruck division against Victoria in a couple of weeks' time. Trying to get clear. And the tackle by Brown on Lambert. And a boundary throw in. No score. It could be a low-scoring game. 15 degrees currently, expected to get to 16. It'll hover between 15 and 16 throughout the day.
So a chance for Carlton, just 25 metres round from goal. Kernahan, quick snap. He's kicked it. A great start for the Blues. My champion skipper putting them on the scoreboard.
Well, he just took it out of the ruck. It was an individual effort. And wouldn't he have liked to kick a goal like that last week, where he had one of his less memorable days in front of goal against Port Adelaide, but it's amazing what 1 week in football can do, and also when you play it during the day, which tends to help Steve Kernahan, whose eyesight isn't perhaps his best feature.
So Clark in the ruck against Allen, wins the tap. Bradley, those quick hands to Williams, still averaging 21 possessions. Williams loses it, Lappin around the corner, kicks up. Johnson thought he had it, ground level. Chrissy Johnson pounced on it. Lambert, the playmaker, rockets a handball towards Hart. It wasn't a good one. Put him under pressure. Quick snap. This could bounce through. Off target. Minor score.
Don't see Williams miss the body too often, or Lambert. Lambert's was a tough handball.
Yes, I think Greg Williams just changed his mind there. He was going to go for the direct handball, then thought about the one that bounces off the ground. In the finish, he did neither.
Dean wide. Good-looking kick to Sexton. Takes the mark in front of Craig McRae. One of the best defenders in the game, Sexton. Kicks to centre wing to Allen. Is that 50?
Well, so. When the mark is taken and the ball's knocked out of the hands, then the 50 should be paid. Depends on whether Tim Shearer thought that he'd heard the whistle before he knocked the ball out.
Manton short. John Nusso working with us today, as he often does throughout the season. Into Dean. Dean short, wants O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan's little give is good. To Whitehead, back to O'Sullivan. Short to Kernahan, picked it up on his boots. Quick kick round the corner, so good start for Kernahan. At the back, Kennedy fisted it away. Voss went to ground, Murphy there. Chapman tried one, Koutafidis, well played. Good kick, just misses. Tell you what, the signs look good for the Blues. I know it's the first 5 minutes, but when Kouta's getting his hands on it and Kernahan's kicking goals, that's what they want.
The bandage, of course, around Anthony Koutafidis' forehead is because of the knock he received very early in the game last week against Port Adelaide. Copped the knee to the head, split him open a bit, and that'd be just to protect him from the blood rule.
Kennedy kicks a long bomb. In front was White. Williams burrows in after the ball. Kick off the ground by McRae, comes out towards Ratton. Can he set it up? Pops it up, looking for Whitnell. The youngster comes out, but Koutafidis across in front. You just mentioned, Bruce, the signs are good with Kuta getting some early touches.
Well, Kuta's lined up on the wing against Tristan Lynch, number 42 there, but it's not the first time he's been floating into the forward line, and clearly he's got that secondary role as a centre-half forward. And don't be surprised to see Kuta just floating across that half-forward line many times this afternoon.
So we can see there plenty of goal space for Koutafidis. He's kicked 10 goals for the season. He's drilled it.
Well, we said at the outset that this game may well rest on the performance or lack of Anthony Koutafidis, a man respected and regarded in this competition as a superstar. He's yet to probably perform at the level required to get true superstar status, but there's no doubt he's got the raw ability and courage. All it needs now is a couple of seasons of consistent performances.
Blues by 13 points at Optus. Goals to Koutafidis and Kernahan. Clark on the tap. Koutafidis again. Good smother though by Voss. That's Brett Voss. Kicks to centre half forward. Sexton and Clark getting back. Dean had an awkward bounce. Can't quite get a handle on it. Taken by Whitehead. Hart's tackle was okay. Clark tries to push out to Leppich. Leppich under pressure. Handball. They want the ball. Now Ashcroft handball good. Johnson in the pocket. Does the right thing. Centres it. Clark the target. Got it. Good mark. Beautiful. And a good kick coming in too.
Well, it was a disciplined kick from Chris Johnson, and perhaps that hasn't been the strength of his game to date. He's only a young man, but he's been up and down in the seniors this season, and perhaps the message is getting through that AFL football success is built around discipline and adherence to team rules, and that was a good option that time.
Clark from point blank range kicks a goal.
And therein is a feature of football in the 90s. The ruckman now pushing into that forward line. In the old days when Kevin Bartlett was just a wee lad, it was most of the time you saw the ruckman just taking the tap and then going to the half back line. And it's only been in that the last 4 or 5 years that ruckman have been required to do the legwork that most midfielders also have to do. And well, we've seen the benefit for the sides who can get their ruckman to push down and take a mark. And here's Matthew Clark doing exactly that.
Carlton by 6 points. Allen against Keating. Ratton feeds it off to McKay. Kicks down towards the half forward line. Murphy's very strong overhead. Got his hands on the Sharon, couldn't hang on to it. Chapman harassing Murphy, takes him to ground, gets into his back. No free kick. Dick Voss be happy to take this over the line. And a throw in on 50.
Diesel actually asking the question about that push in the back then, KB. Certainly wanted it paid.
Not backward in asking the questions, Diesel.
In the nicest way.
Keating in front of Kernahan. Bradley just paddles it over the line. So Justin Murphy there has lost his boot somewhere at Optus Oval. Kernahan versus Keating. Skipper's already kicked the opening goal for the Blues. Wins the tap, taken by Lynch. All tied up by Koutafidis. He's got the job on Kuta today. Ashcroft around the corner. Great one-handed grab by Hart. So he's on centre wing. Much underrated player, Sean Hart. He's finished as high as third in their best and fairest. Ashcroft, the veteran. A young veteran. Up to the half-forward line. Ratton starting to pick up some touches. De Hickmott rockets the ball out, looking for Sexton. It wasn't good. McRae, great at ground level. Hart around the corner. Punched away by Silvani in front of Johnson. Here's a chance for the bouncy Leppich. Couldn't take it. Bradshaw thought he had it once more. Caught. Great tackle by Silvani. We've got a ball up inside 50.
And a top decision from the umpire, I would have thought, John.
Yeah, there was no opportunity to dispose of the ball before the tackle then, so correct decision by Tim Shearer to call for a bounce.
Wasn't that a classic example of the way those veteran Carlton defenders have just teamed together so well to block out what seemingly was an obvious goal?
Clark, Ratton got a hand on it to Whitehead, to Hickmott. Hickmott, awkward kick in the end, into the centre. Keating tries to trap it, works the ball. Bradley with him. This will be interesting. Keating and Bradley, well played, Clark. Handball though, Manton able to get rid of his opponent. And Manton then kicked to Koutafidis, and he can't quite get it now to play. You two cut that out too, by the way. It's the first time I've heard you agree all year.
Just having a look at the Carlton half-forward line. Glenn Manton is playing at a seam, a defensive role against White, although he can kick goals. O'Sullivan's been picked up by Brett Voss, and Justin Murphy has Chapman.
So Koutafidis once more with the ball, but we've got a ball up. Centre wing, there's Tristan Lynch. He's got the job playing on Koutafidis. So Carlton by 6 points. Voss, taken away by Ashcroft. Goes short out in front, finds Clark. The opening goal for the Lions. Lepich is on a lead, it's been ignored. He goes to the longer option, Bradshaw's in front. Couldn't get his fingers on it. Hickmott overruns the ball, Bradshaw's quick at ground level. Hand pass was poor, ends with Dean to McKay. Carlton back line, always good under pressure. Whitehead kicks the ball up. Williams, the high flyer, that's unusual. Allen did well, did the roving. Kernahan goes short. Bradley's partner in crime's got it. He's on 50. They're screaming for the ball. Goes wide. Allen made good ground from the wing. And you mentioned this before, Jared, with the ruckman running down, creating that option on the forward line.
And this time it's the reverse, with Matthew Allen just breaking forward this time to get an opportunity at goal. And really it comes a judgment call by the ruckman. They can only go forward when their side has got control of the football, and sometimes the defensive ruckman can cheat a little bit. If there's a turnover in their back line, well, he ends up on the end of it. But the problem is, if the ruckman gets the grab, he can do this.
So he's pushed it right.
He can also kick goals occasionally, which is preferred.
Well, he's kicked 2 for the year, but not yet noted as a goal kicker.
Blues coaching panel there, David Parkin. His 19th season, John Northey in his 13th, so 2 of the most experienced coaches. In Parkin's case, one of the most experienced of all time. That's a great kick by Kennedy for distance to centre wing. Links to Voss. Voss through the centre. Long kick, good one too to Lappin. McKay within, that'll be a pivotal duel. Dean to the boundary line. Is it out on the full? It is, so not what Dean wanted there. Inside quickly, Hart wanting Clark. Bad bounce. Peso, well done. Johnson should kick the goal. Left foot, he's got it. Well done, McRae there. The pace of McRae to put the pressure on. And Brisbane right back now. It's all squared up basically. It's 2-2 to 2-1.
Yes, it was a pretty good piece of play by Craig McRae. His pace is undeniable. It's really electrifying. Now Clark is playing at centre half forward, changing in the ruck with Clark Keating, and those two combined make a pretty formidable ruck duel.
There's McRae there, and then we see Chrissy Johnson, who's just kicked that last goal, being picked up by Hickmott. So the Blues by a point, 14 plays 13. Keating in the ruck with Clark up forward. Voss picked up a couple of touches already. Hickmott played in front. Sexton, ever reliable, one of the best defenders in the business. Out towards White, got a bad bounce. Here's McRae. Pumps the ball back to 50. Tried to take a one-hander, didn't come up by Sexton. That was unusual. Lambert was caught. McKay under pressure from Clark. The Lions battling hard on the forward line, just tunnel balled it out the back.
Paid a free kick for a throw then, Kevin. Tim Shearer felt the ball was scooped up and paid the throw.
So Hickmott goes wide. He's looking for Ratton. Been a great player over the last 2 seasons. Kicks to the Rhino. Dick Voss applied the pressure. Williams will get support. O'Sullivan peeled off. Williams tumbles the ball back to 50. It's a big pack of players. Lynch has got it with strength. So kicks a shocker. So Ratton can set it up. There's a loose player in Manton. Loose player also is Murphy. He was in the pocket by himself. A bit slow to react, Jared.
Yeah, I think he was a little bit slow that time. I'm just wondering, John, there was a situation where Tristan Lynch was over the mark. Now, if he elects to play on, does that mean he incurs a 50?
No, if the player with the ball elects to play on, then he's foregone the right for the umpire to get the player back on the mark. He can go anytime he likes.
So Manton also has missed, so a couple of chances have gone begging for the Blues.
Unless the player's blown time on, then the only time the umpire would blow time on would be if the player taking the set shot was off his line of kick and had to be straightened up.
Kennedy, he's been going long and he does it again. He kicks the ball right to the centre wing. Oh, terrific fly by Manton, no mark. Then the tackle was good. Brown's high ball to centre half forward. Whitnell trying to get into it. Kennedy, but a host of Carlton players. Ratton's good kick the full forward. Murphy, well done. He had the drop on Chapman. Chapman didn't have any momentum at all going back. It was a clever kick by the Blues into full forward. Murphy's got it and should kick the goal.
Well, it was a pretty good punch from Kennedy, but as always, Ratton seemingly in the right spot. You saw there Chapman, he just had to take away the run with Justin Murphy.
Murphy gets the third goal for Carlton, 3-3 to 2-1, and they lead 21 to 13.
When I say the run, obviously he wasn't running, but he had to just take away his ability to get to the front of the pack, and in fact it was Chapman that worked to the side of the pack rather than just blocking away and forcing Justin Murphy into that defensive role. But it did take great skill, and that's what Justin Murphy has got truckloads of.
So the Blues by 8 points. Keating got his hands on it. Ratton's been tremendous in his first term. Wins the hard ball. Always tough in the clinches is Whitnell. Billy took a great mark. Made plenty of ground. Voss was caught. Hand pass was a wild one. Ashcroft, great play by the Rhino. Took it out of his arms. Kicked off the ground. Lucks of fortune. Comes out to Lynch. So he comes away from centre wing. Kicks back towards centre half forward. Lambert. He's got McKay to beat. Going in hard was Fraser Brown. Bang, crash. Flexed the muscles. Looked like he might have even hurt himself.
I think you're right, Kevin. I think as a result of the bump, he was a bit stunned and couldn't get the handball away as quickly as he wanted to.
So rough and tough. Missed a lot of last year with injury. Still finished very high up in the best and fairest. So Clark against Koutafidis. Hickmott caught by Hart. Whitehead. It was a wild hand pass. Johnson, was he legged? Got it away to Lambert. Hand pass didn't find Ashcroft. Sexton under pressure. Back to Voss. Chance here. They interfered with one another. Bradley takes it away to Silvani. Back to Bradley. Always runs on. Will set it up. Goes to White to Sexton. Long, great interception by Voss, who kicks wide. Puts Voss under a bit of pressure. Ashcroft trying to crash his way through. Whitnell's got it for Carlton. Goes short. Finds O'Sullivan. Can he set it up? Inside 50. It's a poor kick. Being marked by Lynch.
Mistakes at both ends of the ground at the moment. Some poor kicking into the forward line for both teams.
And the problem with Brisbane is that they aren't running through the midfield to kick over that centre half forward line, and they're continually kicking into a contest with Michael Sexton, and he's tough to bypass.
And Lynch again coughing it up. Good effort there by Murphy. He said, couldn't really kick this. He goes short. Kernahan got him. Good kick. But again, Alistair Lynch's kick out of defence was pretty ordinary. It was straight to Whitnell. That's twice he's done it in this first quarter.
You can very rarely do that sort of pass when you're playing sides like Sydney and Essendon, who tend to flood the back line and have their players play a zone type of defence. And you see their two players, Voss and White, they both had individual men that they had to look after, and those men sucked them out of that gap where Kernahan led into. Sometimes they've just got to take the punt and block the main man's run.
Good shot by Kernahan, a good angle there. Two goals to Kernahan. The Blues going well. They're 4-3, and the Lions are 2-1.
I tend to think that the flooding of defensive areas is here to stay, and there are still some sides not utilising that. And you'll just see here why it is so practical to use it. Murphy just waiting for the option, players running out of the space, allowing Kernahan into the space, and two Lions players there should have been able to stop it.
Carlton by 14 points. It's been a good start for the Blues. Voss. Lappin, taken away by O'Sullivan. Here come the Blues once more. Kicks down to Koutafidis, try to take a one-hander. Chapman caught, just tried to crash his way through. Fraser Brown, the tackler, takes Dick Voss to the ground. They're desperate. Lynch caught by O'Sullivan. Fraser Brown taken to the ground. Great tackling in defence. And we've got a ball up.
The tackling is ferocious, Kevin, and in that passage of play there were a number of times when the tackling player actually fell on the player with the ball. The umpire has to determine whether the player with the ball's actually contributed to the contact from behind.
Kernahan beaten by Keating. O'Sullivan kicks back towards the goal square. He's got it. Whitnell. What an exciting young talent. Son of Graham, a former player with Carlton. He's kicked 15 goals this year.
Once again, another fumble by the Lions, just allowing Carlton in, and that's a terrific grab by Lance Whitnell.
So from close in, he kicks a goal.
Well, at the moment, the kicks statistic, I think, reflects the game. Carlton's got 46 to the Brisbane Lions 25. Handball's pretty well even at 19 and 18. But Carlton have had far more of this football. Inside 50, they're about 25% up on Brisbane. So it just comes down to Brisbane not getting enough football through the middle of the ground. I think their forward setup can hurt Carlton, but they've got to get the ball down to allow their runners in there to be creative.
Lynch out of the centre to Johnson. High tackle by Bradley. Free kick coming back.
And pretty lucky in the finish, Bruce, because it was a pretty... well, it wasn't a great handball, was it? It gave handball to a fellow under pressure.
So Chris Johnson in the heart of the centre square. Lepic leads. His forward line looks good on paper. Not a lot happening in the first quarter. Good mark, Christian Lynch, though. Johnson kicked it to him. It's one of those players who plays taller than he looks. He can take a mark overhead. And that was a good grab. It's a bit of an awkward kick. So over the top there. Now Lynch this season's kicked just one goal in 8 matches, so he's not a goal kicker, and he's pushed that to the right and missed. Just 2 goals in his 30 games to date. 5-3 to 2-2, 33 to 14. Blues going well early. Silvani to bring it in. Good kick. Oh, well played. Ratton off, interesting. McRae rather. Voss back to McRae. High ball, back to full forward. Lepic, Silvani, well played. Better than a kick almost. Back to Sexton. Sexton quickly onto the boot, into the centre. This will bounce fairly high. Lynch did a good job. Hip and shoulder by O'Sullivan. Williams will find the target. No, he didn't. Whitehead. Chapman held on to. Should have got a free kick. No free kick. Play on call. There's Allen to Whitehead. Good back turn, but caught up. Lynch's kick around the body, not good, because he should have made it shorter for Ashcroft, and Bradley's got the run of it.
So on the half-back flank, Bradley kicks the ball back. It's all the Lions. McRae with that pace comes away. That raking left boot out in front. He's kicked the space to Lappin, wants to run onto the ball. He'll get support from Lepic. In fact, he got in his way, taken the ground by Silvani. Voss flicks the muscles, taken away by the Rhino. Goes short. Carlton on the burst. Allen kicks inside 50. One for the high flyers. Whitnell was there. Fraser Brown at ground level. Bending it back. He's missed.
Bad mistake down here on centre wing by the Brownlow medalist, who looked for the body contact rather than just continuing to run at the football. But just a couple of little errors in the middle of the ground is costing the Brisbane Lions pretty dearly at the moment. Carlton seemingly able to take the ball off them almost at will.
And Kennedy using a new kick-out tactic in league football. That's
long.
Kicking the ball 65 metres. That'll surprise a lot of people. Voss, the Brownlow medalist, is caught. Kicked off the ground by Ashcroft. Veteran at just 25. Played over 160 games. Fletcher, he's been in the quaffle. Wants to impress today. Goes short and finds Johnson.
Hawks looked pretty lively in the first quarter, Johnson. Bradshaw goes for him now, kicks it very wide. He'll be lucky to keep it in. Doesn't, out of play. Haven't seen the Lions this year, but I might
Keep
be a
your
bit...
eye on that bloke.
Yeah.
Daniel Bradshaw.
I was going to say, when I say it, sorry, Jared, I haven't seen them live. I might be early days, but Michael Voss, to me, he's either got the flu or something, or he's not nearly as fit as he was last year. He's a different player. Athletically, he's not playing nearly as well. McKay, out of play. Lappin's down 2 in the first quarter. But, you know, with Voss, I can just see a huge difference in the body shape.
Well, the last 2 occasions when he's had the ball, Bruce, he's almost been concerned about the body contact, so maybe he's carrying an injury.
Forward pocket, Clark, worked out of it by Allen, down to Bradshaw. Good kick, just missed, not bad. You like him, Gerard, do you, Bradshaw?
Well, Kevin and I had the great pleasure of seeing him against Geelong a couple of weeks ago, and he was a real star. There's no doubt he is one of the more talented youngsters to come into the game this year, Kevin.
Yes, I also saw him against Fremantle. He kicked 4 goals against the Dockers and 6 goals against the Cats.
And I reckon his athleticism will gain him a free kick or 2 against Peter Dean, the opponent, because I don't think Dean will be able to keep up with him for pace.
And he's had an interrupted season. He badly injured an ankle and missed 12 weeks early in the year. So he's still finding his fitness. McKay comes away from half-back, kicks to the half-forward line. Brown in front with strength, punched away by Chapman. Brett Voss lost it. Rhino's been killing him across the half-forward line. Back to Sexton. Down from defence, has a pot shot at goals. Unbelievably, he's kicked it.
Well, both you, Bruce, and Kevin, you've both said he is one of the best defenders in the competition. I think we can even be a little bit more specific in glowing in our praise. There is no doubt in my mind that he is by far the best defender in the comp right at the moment. Glenn Jakovic still recovering from a knee injury, but Michael Sexton has been such a star for 3 years, he gets that honour.
25-point margin. The Blues going really well here. 6 goals to 2. Sexton, a terrific effort. Clark wins the tap. Bradley out of the centre. They're doing some damage now. Carlton late in this quarter. Bouncing ball. Kennedy okay. Brown, though, they've read it better. Couldn't quite get the handball back to Whitnell. Numbers for the Lions. Kennedy well played. Chapman. Little give okay to Lynch. Lynch kicking the ball dreadfully. Alistair. Boy, 3 kicks and 3 ordinary results.
We normally say kicked like a defender.
Well, he's been, yeah, you're right, John. He's been at both ends of the ground so successfully in his career. Back to centre half forward. Kernahan had a bit of it. Play on called. O'Sullivan's been a star. Right foot across the face of goal. Chance, good effort by Whitnell. What a mark. Kennedy had hold of him as well. He made a debut against Essendon in the opening round at 17 that suggested, dare I say it, Gerald, that he's going to be something special. And
well,
boy, he looks it.
Been disappointed that it has taken almost 27-minute mark of the first quarter to get it out, but there it is. In fact, I think that's been, if you had to patent them that worldwide, you'd be a multi-millionaire.
Well,
as against a millionaire.
This special teenager kicks for goal, and don't tell me he's missed it. He's still special. He's a good player, but that's one he should have kicked. He kicked the one that was much harder from the other pocket. There's Hamill and Welsh and Hume looking on, but gee, the Blues are going well here. It's 6-5 to 2-3.
So Chapman, who won Sun Kick a few years ago, shows you why. Just belts the ball out towards the wing, a good 65 metres, taken by Bradley. O'Sullivan's picked up 8 possessions already on the half-forward line. Good mark by Chapman. A bit too tall for Fraser Brown. So the siren sounds. We're in a terrific opening quarter by Carlton. They've bounced out of the blocks. 11 scoring shots in the first term. 6-5-41. The Lions 2-3-15 and Matthew Allen.
Start of the second quarter. Lynch on Whitnell and Kennedy on Kernahan here. 6-5 to 2-3. Carlton to the right of screen. Ordinary bounce. McKay out of the centre. Has been on top of Lappin early. Belts the ball inside 50. Lynch after it. That's better. Whitnell tries to chase him. Lynch's kick out to his namesake. Bouncing ball. Cooter feed is with Tristan Lynch. Out of play. Started well, Cooter. Died away towards the end of the first term, but he'd done his job with a goal and 4 kicks.
not enough polish on the Lions' disposal at the moment. Once again, that Lynch kick should have been able to be marked by Lynch, but just wide of the mark.
Lambert, Ashcroft, good tackle by Mackay. Back to Michael Voss, back to Lappin. Two most important players if they're to get into the game. And speak of important players, Leppich the same. He's a long way from home. He's their leading goal kicker this season, Leppich, with 24. Kicks wide, Bradley. It's always taking a while to get to Tristan Lynch, and Bradley cuts it off. He's had 9 possessions, Bradley. What a player, 33 years of age. One player that you think could go on and probably play to the sort of age that Tucky achieved in the end. Allen, Ashcroft, Koutafidis, Whitehead back to Bradley, around the corner and out on the full. And here's Carter on for the first time. Nick Carter goes in short, terrible kick. Silvani,
who then gives it across the sticks. Kernahan, he's caught high. Takes the free kick. Silvani up on centre wing. He's got Kernahan loose. Bad checking by Brisbane. Finds Whitehead, tries to keep it in. Successful. So Murphy and also Whitnell come away from the goal square. Murphy now makes ground. Lynch can feed it off. Chapman. Now he's looking for Keating. He needs a bit of height. He's also got Clark push out there. Silly play by Allen. In fact, he's also given a free kick to Keating.
For holding, Kevin.
So there was 2 free kicks in that exchange. Keating just belts the ball back towards Leppich. Caught underneath the ball. Silvani always fist away. Voss the heart. Just a nothing kick really down towards the half-forward line. Put McRae under a lot of pressure. So they're not moving the ball quickly at all into the forward line, Jared. It's generally just a high ball and hoping for the best. There's Peter Dean, one of the greats of Carlton, and a wonderful player over the years.
Just a little bit static, Kevin, with their disposal. They're just not getting a ball flowing through. They're not laying it off, just the one handball to kick over the line.
Koutafidis tries to break through, can't do it. Fraser Brown. Voss was over the top. Now Lambert and Ratton. Ratton had the best of the first quarter. Puts the pressure on. Sexton's been supreme. Neat little kick to Kouta. They're going well, the Blues. Koutafidis at centre wing. Their forward line looks potent. Kernahan and Murphy. Murphy front spot. Well done, Chapman. But Murphy's got it. Play on call. Well, what do you reckon, John?
Yeah, well, Scotty McLaren called play on immediately. The ball went up from the first contest. So, but there's no way Murphy would have heard that. So it is. Yeah, I can understand that. The puncher certainly propelled the ball up from Murphy's hands. So Scotty McLaren calling play on immediately and elected to bounce because Murphy wouldn't have known the play on call.
Clark lays it down for Lambert. Lambert wide for White. White clever to Voss. Voss's little kick towards the boundary line. Gee, Manton just runs away from Voss. White, Mackay, boundary throw in right in front of the 7 commentary box. We look at the scoreboard. It's 6-5 to 2-3.
Blues by 26 points. Clark versus Allen. O'Sullivan was a big winner in the first quarter across half forward. Ashcroft happy to fist the ball back over the line.
Well, you spoke about energy levels, Bruce, at quarter time. It just does appear as if there's something not quite right amongst the lads for the Brisbane Lions. And they're not out of this game by any means. And sometimes you can build and find your confidence through a game, but you've just got to keep persisting and not allow Carlton, in this case, to get away too much further.
Clark, short kick, finds Hart. Back to Darryl White, kicks a high ball. McRae's quick. It was a good mark. He ran with a flight. He's on 50. Now Bradshaw's in the square. Exciting youngster. He's been ignored. So McRae goes to the square. So it's one for the high flyers. Off hands. Punch through for 1 point.
2-4 to 6-5. Michael Voss getting his hands on the footy a couple of times in this term. He's one of those players who could build here if they are to make a challenge. Dean short. Hickmott had to stretch, but he made it all right. Hickmott about 30 metres from his own goal. Should get it out of the danger zone with one big kick. He does. Out to half back. Koutafidis a target. Good flight. Dick Voss front spot. And at the back was Tristan Lynch. It's going to be a bounce. Danny Dickfoss debuted last year. Had a terrific season. Ex-Quaffle player. His Voss again, a touch, a floating kick. Sexton read it well, but Johnson nabbed it beautifully. And Hooks really should have done better.
Well, once again, it's that bending the ball around. It looks fantastic when it comes off, but it basically is a lair-rising kick. It is very popular amongst footballers at the present time, but it is about a 1 in a 50% chance. You can straighten up and just kick a normal drop punt and increase the percentages remarkably.
Silvani to Sexton. The two big guns in defence for Carlton. Kicks wide. Hickmott once more. That long stretch. He's a rhino. What a day he's having. 10th year in AFL football. He's just played over 50 games. Relishing today to McKay, who thumps the ball to 50. Murphy can mark. Here's Kernahan. Back in the pack. Screws it around. It's going to bounce. There's a chance. White. Make that wide head. Can't get there. All tied up by Hart. We've got a boundary throw in. So Adrian Whitehead, youngest player in Carlton's premiership side. 95. Koutafidis. Kernahan at the back. Ratton with strength. Whitnell gets the ball out. Williams should kick a goal.
Well, you get the feeling that Carlton got a goal there by just simply imposing their will on a side that just didn't have the same mental strength. Have a look at the numbers here. They just keep barging the ball forward. Ratton's good at it. Whitnell sort of just scrubbing a handball forward. And Williams was in the right spot at the right time. Once again, another goal coming out of nothing to Carlton, and not good signs for Brisbane.
Five goals the margin here, 47-17. Allen and also Clark. Ratton, good tackle, Lambert. Held on to him for a fair while, though. McKay has had a terrific match to White. White's kick okay to Bradley. Gee, the Blues are doing it at will. Bradley steadies and kicks to Williams. Voss, well done. That's more like it. Average old kick, but in front of Ashcroft, who was far too slow. McKay worried him out of it. Well played, White. Beautiful skills normally. Doesn't commit enough, and McKay takes it away. And that's the story of the match so far. Kicks to 50. Brown was held up. Lambert, that's a terrible option. He had Voss inside and he went to the boundary line. Well, if I were the Lions, I'd walk off the ground, come back and start again. Nothing is going right at the moment, and Carlton could win this match in the next 10 minutes.
Well, you can see here Brisbane's last goal came at the 13-minute mark of the first quarter. In fact, Lambert should have just wheeled around onto his left boot and kicked the ball.
Pushing the back plate in the marking contest by the adjacent umpire rather than the umpire in control of that contest.
It's impossible to always be the playmaker. So Dick Voss gives it across to Lapham. They need him to play well. He ran his full distance on his third possession, kicks to space. Bradshaw, manhandle for mine, will get the free kick. It's a long way out, so he can't kick a goal, but he is a thumping kick. Now Keating's on the lead. Also Carter, that's been ignored as well. So he just pops it up at centre-half forward. It was a nothing kick, really. Bradley, under pressure. It's a hurried kick back to the square. Whitnell goes to ground, got to keep your feet. Lynch thought he had it and lost it. Ashcroft around the corner. There's a great grab taken by Adrian Hickmott, who plays on to Silvani. So rebound football by the Blues. They set up the loose player. They can raffle it. McKay gives it across to Bradley, who pumps the ball back, and Koutafidis has got it. This is great play by the Blues. He's looking for Fraser Brown. Dick Voss does well. Underrated player, tough and durable, gives it across to Ashcroft. The handball hasn't been very productive. They've really set it up. And here's another example of poor handball slowing the game down. Goes short, finds Carter, back to Lambert. This time he kicks the ball. Low trajectory kick, looking for Keating. He's under pressure from Sexton. He's hard to beat. Johnson has kicked a goal with strength, rolls the shoulders, inside 50. Maybe something magic, he's caught. Great tackling. They're unhappy because a goal's been kicked. Carter has popped it through. But Carlton fans, what do you think there, John Russo?
Well, I mean, Murphy disposed of the ball and then regained possession. From the moment he regained possession until the time he was tackled, he was seen with the footy. Sorry, it was Johnson, yeah. It actually didn't have a prior opportunity after or before the second tackle, so I'm comfortable with that.
Carter and Lambert both off the man who kicked the goal, and Trask and Fletch have come on. So that's interesting. Carter going straight from the ground. Williams out of the centre. Voss cuts it off. So Brisbane, maybe a fortunate goal in the end, though John's explanation was a good one on the Johnson situation. So 7-5 to 3-5.
It's the first one that's come up with a player almost foregoing or continuing the priority in the possession situation. I would have thought that once you dispose of the ball, John, that you've given away your opportunity for prior opportunity.
Well, he regained possession after he had disposed of it, yeah.
20 more marks to Carlton, we saw a moment ago. Bad kick by Allen to Dick Voss. He's away. Out wide. Gets it to Lynch. Tristan Lynch. He's looking for Hart. Should get a favourable bounce. It just sat there in the turf at Optus Oval. High ball by Hart. Not good. That's a poor kick. He probably didn't have a lot of options, but he's just belted it straight up in the air, and Silvani's got hold of it. Silvani wide to centre wing. Kennedy. Kernahan's having a very good match today. Kernahan, lovely kick to Koutafidis, or take your pick. McKay, lovely mark. Has Kouta running, kicks towards Murphy and Koutafidis. One hand, Murphy's at the back. Koutafidis kicks the goal. He's got two, Kouta, and the Blues answer immediately. 8-5 to 3-5.
And she's a pretty packed legend stand here, the new stand at Optus Oval. And they went up as one of the favourite sons here, Anthony Koutafidis, gets a goal after making a mistake there. It wasn't perhaps his best effort, but he kept on running and the ball was there. And, well, Coach East gets his first goal for this afternoon.
Carlton by 30 points. You see John Northey still barking some instructions. Roger Merritt beside him. Clark, the high leaper, does his own roving. Kicks inside 50. This is where Carlton are fantastic. The half-back line, their defenders have stood up well. Hickmott. And they've usually got a loose player. Brisbane's been very slack at picking up Carlton players who are quick to rebound. Kicks down towards Kernahan. So Tristan Lynch pounced on it. Back towards the half-forward line. Keating. He's got three to beat. That's hard to do. Whitehead. Back to Bradley, back to Hickmott. Kicks back towards half-forward line. Here's Allen, comes out. Couldn't take a one-hander. Wins it at ground level to Koutafidis. Outside of 50. Kouta goes bang! Long bomb! Oh, great effort! Danny Dick Voss. Sensational stuff. And you can listen to that applause. We talk about athleticism in football. And this is not only athleticism, this is desperation as well. Sensational stuff.
Very nearly marked it.
Well done. Kennedy. Exciting stuff here. Not a good kick. Missed Trask completely. Done by Whitehead. To Bradley, to Whitehead, to Allen. Good build-up. Allen's little chip okay to Ratton. Ratton wants to get on with it in a hurry. He's about 80 metres from goal. Not good. Clark's got it. Don't need to over-finesse here, the Blues. Everything they're doing has been right. They don't have to overdo it.
And Bruce, he's got about 6 defenders right in his vicinity, and none of them were running forward to create some space, create some opportunity.
Trask come onto the ground for Carter. Kick to Hart out wide. McRae. Now, he should use it quickly. Had a couple of players running past. That's not good play, Craig. Well done by Williams. O'Sullivan with pure strength held up McRae. Williams with courage diving in. Good tackle by White. Little kick by Lynch. Going forward to McRae. McRae's handball. Panicking Tristan Lynch. Ratton should be holding it, I reckon. No. Didn't think he wanted to get it out.
Yeah, well, he didn't want to get it out, Bruce, but by the same token, he didn't dive on the ball. So that would have been what was going through Scotty McLaren's mind. The fact that he didn't actually dive on the ball, it just ended up underneath him.
Just couldn't work McRae out a moment ago. He had Lappin laterally and another player laterally, and held on and then kicked into the man. Hart's got it. He's 60 metres out, drives to full forward. Lepic and Silvani, bit of hanging on from both. Free kick Silvani, no. Off the ground, Voss goal.
Steve Silvani certainly upset about that, calling to Darren Goldsmith now. He felt he was held and prevented from being able to chase that footy as it was moving into the goal square. Peter Dean having a word now too.
Take us through it, John. What
yeah, well, as the ball lobs in the goal square, Steve Silvani recovers. He's actually being held there by Lepic for sure, and turns around and asks Darren Goldsmith the question straight away. So I think it's reasonable that he was to expect the free kick and probably should have been given it.
So Carlton by 25 points. Just under 8 minutes of action left in this second quarter. Williams. Playmaker to Manton. What a pick-up he's been from Essendon. Chips it up. Kernahan's got it. Right on 50. So he offloads. Let's go and land the front of the goal square. Kudafidi's there. Back a pack. Murphy can't get there. Runs through for one behind.
Well, there's a buzzword in football that's been with us for a couple of years. It's called passion. It perhaps just replaced the word that you use, Kevin, determination. And you would say right at the moment that there's one side, the Blues, playing with absolute commitment and absolute determination. And the Brisbane Lions, whilst they have got a number of players playing with that commitment, are still not having the full quota of players hitting the ball as hard as they would like. And I'm sure it'll be talked about by John Northey at half-time.
Lappin to Fletcher to White, because that's been his trademark, hasn't it, Northey?
Sure. Wherever
he's been able to get players to play with that passion that takes them to another level. The kick by Lappin, that's good. This is Bradshaw in the heart of the centre square. Lepic provides one leg. Clark's getting back. Bradshaw off one leg, gets good distance. Clark's his target, front spot. Sexton worked him under it. Silvani sits and waits. Kicks badly. Voss has got his second. Stephen, that's a bad error. Well, I think Silvani had a good case to make a moment ago, but he's only got himself to blame there. And all of a sudden, this game is alive. 8-7 to 5-5. The Lions are back in this.
And it came out of a bit of a nothing also. No real option there. Matty Clark was in a one-on-one situation. Yeah, you're right. It wasn't a great piece of defence by Steve Silvani, who just actually missed the football. He tried to scrub one through, get an own point. But as we said at the start of this quarter, if you keep persisting, perhaps you can find a little bit of cohesiveness within the team unit. The next 5 minutes all important for Brisbane.
Lions within 20 points. Fletcher went at it hard. They might go up a cog. Johnson gets it across to Keating. Silvani, clean hands this time. Heads towards the boundary line. That was his thoughts before. You see Stephen Silvani still just mulling that over. Free kick has been given.
Either for pushing the ball into the gutter after it went out of bounds.
I'm certain that's what it was for, John. So Trask, the youngster, just playing his second game to Hart. Offloads a big bomb. He's a goal kicker. He's off target. So I think you're right, Bruce. All of a sudden, a little bit more desperation for the Brisbane Lions. If they can just get another goal before half-time, they'll go in after virtually a poor half of football with a chance to win the game.
Silvani goes short. Good kick to Brown. Voss has lifted a bit, hasn't he, in this term, with his couple of goals. Brown from centre half back goes long and wide. O'Sullivan in the front spot, but went too far for him. Kernahan too easily on his chest, and then quickly on to Williams. Chapman well played. Greg sort of pushed him into it, and Chapman said thanks very much out to Voss. So 15th possession for Voss coming up. He's at centre wing. Delivers to centre half forward. Lepic the target. Silvani beautifully done. The Premier fullback kicks wide to Sexton. Makes him chase a bit. Hart. Sexton just paddles it on in front to Allen. Allen a big turn. Kicks very well to Murphy. Murphy's found some space. just puts it up in the air, wants Cooter. Watch this. Should have given a free kick away. Cooter went early.
Agree with that.
Belted down. Fletcher, handball was strong. Lappin should go over the top to Tristan Lynch. He's a bit slow, Lappin, deciding, then pushes it out wide, makes it a 50-50 ball. I thought it was a bit hard on Lynch. Lynch can't quite get a handle on it. Now they've got a chance. Little give by McRae, but Bradley and really Nigel Lappin, this is your blue.
And Bradley pinched it. Inside the centre square, kicks wide, he's looking for Williams, he's got it.
One-on-one in a marking duel. Brett Williams would be the equal of any player in the game, and it was almost a certainty to get that one. And just to reiterate, the difference between the two sides is we see Diesel just show how it's done in a strength situation. You would say that defensively the Lions are going at about 75%, and when they have got the football, their skill level is just not quite up to the standard.
Well, he was beaten for height, but not for guile. So Williams going for goal number 2. Just a minor score.
But in talking about that skill level, I reckon the major reason is the fact that Carlton are just tackling so ferociously. So every time a Lions player gets the footy, he's just that little bit tentative.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons, John, but perhaps it's having a reflected effect as well, because even in loose man situations, they're still not hitting targets.
So Alistair Lynch kicks a big bomb. Kernahan a big fist away. Fraser Brown didn't quite get the bounce he wanted. Lambert back on the ground. Be keen to make amends for what's been a pretty ordinary first half by him. McRae.
Go back for the original free kick for slinging after the ball was disposed of.
In fact, he looks like he wants to give it to McRae.
Yeah, I think Darren was probably half inclined to call advantage, but when he saw the kick was a bit of a mongrel, he brought it back again.
So McRae from half back. Kicks down towards Clark. He's got him in his sights. Punched away by Dean. Hart. Ricocheted back into his arms to Lambert. Feeds it off to Voss. 16 possessions. The kick was a poor one. Johnson couldn't handle it. Been a fair bit of fumbling by Brisbane. Clean hands that time by Hickmott. Tumbles the ball back. Kernahan happy to just push that ball over the line with Kennedy.
Again, the skill problems for Brisbane going forward. Just missing bodies left, right and centre. It's interesting that Tristan Lynch paid the penalty for what looked an ordinary kick from Lappin a moment ago and went from the ground. Allen at the back. Bradley, O'Sullivan to Ratton, to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan charges through, little kick good to Manton. Manton back to the Rhino. Oh, well done. Sidestep beautifully, picked himself up, goes for goal. Williams sets himself, pushes out, but the pace came from Brisbane and Lynch away. One bounce. He's run down though. Gets his kick, and again he's kicked to the opposition. Wide inboard to Bradley. Bradley, oh, missed him. Hit him too hard. Johnson could pay. Lepich is away. Johnson's going to take the ball on. Was tripped. Play on call. Was unlucky, I reckon. Dean's kicked the ball forward. Mark. Well, it's a game of wasting the footy at the moment. McKay's going to kick it to Hickmott.
And he's got Hickmott loose on centre wing. So some rebound football. Bradley kicks the ball up to 50. Chance for Hamill, just throws the ball away. Danny Dick Voss to Lambert, who rockets the ball back to Dick Voss. Back to Ashcroft from the half-back line. Kicks short on one-on-one duel, looking for Voss. He's got McKay to beat this time. Voss has certainly gone up a cog. He's had a big second quarter. He's kicked a couple of goals. He's had 17 possessions, 2 marks. So the Brownlow medalist has stood up to be counted in this second quarter. 36 plays, 56. The Blues in front. Allen sharked this time by Fletcher. This tumble kick's been marked by Hickmott. So he's on the half-back flank. Casually comes away. Kicks back looking for Koutafidis. Williams runs onto the ball. It's a poor kick.
Unusual, that one, because he had his partner in crime, Craig Bradley, running to the side, and the voice would have been there. Diesel, perhaps his skill level has just dropped back a cog in the last couple of weeks, so tending to just rush his possession somewhat.
Whitnell and Keating at the back. Ratton, little handball to Bradley. Back to Williams. Left foot. Goes for goal and just misses. Probably right, Jared. He set such a standard for such a long time, but he's had 4 shots for goal today and kicked 1. What a player he's been over the years. Here's Lynch, who, talk about struggling with the ball today, has just kept finding the opposition, and that in itself is a pretty average kick. And Kuda Fides flew high. Voss's quick one. Kuda high tackle. No free kick. Ratton with strength. Rhino, well played O'Sullivan, ridden into the ground. Kernahan 45 metres out, unloads. It's going to be close, he just missed. And the Blues in the last 5 minutes could almost have wrapped this up before half-time. They've had 3 or 4 shots that have all been gettable, and they could have stretched the lead to about 6 goals, but at the moment it's 3.5. Lynch to Lappin.
So Carlton by 22 points. Lappin being one of their gun young players. Kicks out wide. Kuda Fides. Ball slapped forward. Got the play back to Rhino. O'Sullivan flicks it out to Hickmott. Goes short. Looking for Fraser Brown, who's got it. Fingertip mark. It's on a tough angle. So from 45 metres, he's put it straight over the line, out of bounds on the full. But I don't think he was too happy with it.
It's been one of Fraser's best days. He's had 2 kicks and 1 handball in the first term, 2 and 1 to date in the second term. Hasn't had much time on the ball in the middle of the ground.
So Johnson chips it short. Lappin marks in front of Hamill. So from the back pocket, just pops it up in the air. Williams got a chance. Floated across in front. Fletcher runs smack bang into Ratton, thrown off the ball. Lambert flicked it back, taken by Williams. It's been intercepted by McRae.
Centre half back, a bit lucky to get out of that, the Lions. He thought about going back to Lappin. Now laterally, a long high kick to Kennedy. This is a better movement, but the siren goes for half-time. In what in many ways has been an unsatisfying first half, I think. 8-10 to 5-6 from all points of view. Carlton will be disappointed with their last 5 minutes. They could have buried the Lions, but Williams missed a couple, Kernahan missed 1, Brown's effort was ordinary in the pocket, and still the Lions hang on, but I think they're going to need...
change bench, but I don't think Brisbane's without a chance.
8-10, 5-6, start of the second half at Optus. Keating in the ruck. Kuda Fides well played. Keating chased hard. You'd expect Brisbane to make a mark early here. McRae's kick away. When I say make a mark, at least have a real crack for the first quarter of an hour or so and try and get themselves back in. Sexton, McKay and Traskin over the line.
Well, often, Bruce, a side's mental attitude is reflected by the way they chase when they haven't got the football, and I think John Northey would have been disappointed with the level of chasing. It was going at about 75% in the first half. If they can crack that up, put some pressure back in this second half, then all of a sudden the gates may open somewhat for the Lions.
Good effort by McRae there. Bradley looks as if he might be away. 58 to 36. It's 8-10 to 5-6. Brisbane without a win away from the Gabba this year. And Carlton 3 straight wins before an ordinary performance in Adelaide last Friday night. Ratton, Tambell, Williams just behind Allen. McRae, well done. To Lambert, to Voss. Voss's kick is okay to Hart. That's a better build-up, and some of the key players were involved. Lambert, Voss. Now Hart, 2 seasons ago, kicked a lot of goals. It's normally a pretty good shot. This is about his distance, isn't it? 45, 46 metres. He's kicked a couple of behinds. This would close this match up. Kicks from 48, hasn't made it. White works to the front, Dean with him, and a behind. So it looks like White's gone forward. Kennedy off the ground, as Kevin told us. And there's Roger Merritt on the left, and John Northey, his second season at Brisbane, formerly with Sydney, Melbourne and Richmond.
Sean Hart, if there was something disappointing about his season, is that he's had an inability to kick goals. He's just kicked the 6 at the present time, and that's perhaps just not quite enough. They should have midfield or forward crummers up to the 20-odd mark at this stage. And
White, that was a good mark, down to Allen. To Sexton, put him under pressure. Looks like he caught one high too. Keating pumps the ball forward. Boundary throw in.
Sexton's head certainly reeled back, Kevin, but Scotty McLaren wouldn't have been able to see it, but from here it certainly looked as though there was high contact.
I like the idea of Darryl White up forward because he can do the exceptional. He's a brilliant player. They just need someone with a bit of magic who can manufacture 2 or 3 goals. Keating pumps the ball inside 50. Clark, he's got it.
Great grab.
Did he pay it? It hasn't been paid. Look, he's looking around. And just a few choice words as well. Thought he had enough purchase on it. But Clark's a high flyer, so's White. So they've got some tall timber on the forward line. Clark tried to take it out. Hickmott, good defensive kick, got distance. Lynch not having the best of days. Lappin with speed on the burst. All tied up. Bad bounce for Trask. Also clean bowl Johnson. Allen thought he had it. It was a good tackle. Fletcher tries to set up the Trask, lost it in mid-air, taken away by McKay. Goes back towards Kernahan. Push out. Skipper takes the free.
Well, John Russell, you talked about hesitancy, and I think that was a situation there with Nick Trask that reflected exactly what you were talking about.
Yeah, one hand's not good enough in a situation like that. Lynch having a dirty day. Kernahan to Allen, Allen to fall forward. Bradshaw's playing on Whitnell now. That'll be an interesting matchup. Belted away by Chapman, taken by Voss. Hamble cut off. Now Tristan Lynch. High ball under pressure. Here's Trask and Whitehead. Comes down to O'Sullivan. Bad handball, miss Whitehead. O'Sullivan breaks a line, back to Brown. Brown's high kick to centre half forward. Koutafidis, Dick Voss there. Carlton with all the numbers. Kouta couldn't mark it. Williams' handball back to Murphy. So the Blues making some errors. White, Dick Voss can't get through. Well done by Hickmott. Ducking was Ashcroft. High tackle, free kick. I reckon he was lucky.
Yeah, what Darren Goldsmith has to determine there is whether the player's intention was to tackle legitimately. If he makes every endeavour to tackle legitimately, then it's okay.
Sexton's got it. It was a good effort by McRae. Sexton's kick to the pocket to Murphy.
Yeah, the 4.
Tell you what, Gerard, the Blues are actually going up and down to the one spot, but it's just that Brisbane aren't going any better.
No, the whole game has gone back a few cogs, but I'll tell you what, if Brisbane get the next goal, it could really open up. The downside of that argument, though, is if Carlton get the next goal, well, perhaps it might be all over.
Kernahan just tumbles it forward, a chance for Whitnell. The youngsters, he's kicked it.
Two to Whitnell. Trask off, Carter on.
This is good play by Kernahan. Quickly onto the boot, Gerard.
Well, once again, he's roved his opposition ruckman's tap, and just not an effective strategy there coming out of those boundary throw-ins. It's cost them a couple of goals in exactly the same situation at that end of the ground.
9-10 to 5-7. The Blues making heavy weather of that, but they've scored, and Brisbane not looking as if they can challenge for the moment. Lynch tries to belt it away. Koutafidis at centre wing. Delivers to half forward. Nice kick to Williams. Whitnell's on his own. Manton's at centre half forward. Kernahan goes. Williams kicks towards him. Lynch, good effort that time. Now Dick Voss, tackled by Manton, good. Dick Voss through his legs to Fletcher, who's been half pace all day. Did start on the interchange. Taken by Tristan Lynch. Good kick to Carter. Out of play. Trask was taken from the ground a moment ago. For the one-hander probably a few minutes earlier. So the margin 27 points. Allen works to the front. Keating tries to get over him. O'Sullivan, who's been a star, just chips to centre half forward to Whitnell. Good hands. Big effort to ask Bradshaw to match up on him. Bradshaw would have been dreaming about kicking goals last night, and now he's having to stop them.
pretty tough when the disposal comes in as good as this from Luke O'Sullivan. The Rhino, threatened species here at Blues.
Whitnell misses, not good. So he's kicked 2-2. Rhino as good as anybody so far on the ground, you'd reckon.
Leading possession getter, Bruce, 21.
Chapman for Brisbane. They've been kicking the ball long. This is no exception. Kicks to the point of the square. Clark, Allen from behind, fisted the ball.
Great hands.
Lambert was quick. So chance for the Lions. Voss through the centre square. Long bomb. Backing back is Keating, pushed out of the way by Sexton.
And that's why the long bomb is just almost ineffective against Carlton, because you've got too many guys like Michael Sexton in a one-on-one situation are almost unbeatable.
Now, the reason Scotty McLaren has brought the play back here is Michael Sexton went behind the scoring line to take his kick. Once he's done that, then the instruction is that he has to bring the ball into play over the player's head.
So Sexton towards the outer side of the ground, marked by Dean. Whitehead ran on, but it's been ignored. Now goes short, looking for Bradley. Took it on the half volley. Quickly around the corner, Lepage. Hasn't had the best of days. Johnson from outside 50 goes very short and finds Hart.
Lepage short.
So he might have a little bit of trouble with the distance. Just about at his maximum. He's had 11 possessions. He's taken 3 marks so far. So from 48 metres. That's a great kick. Well done, Sean Hart.
Tell you what I found interesting there, Jared, is that Clark Keating is right on the line. Nobody chewing that ball home, as if Hart had missed. 9-11 to 6-7. You might see on the replay here. Have a look at the reaction from the Brisbane forward, particularly Keating, as this ball goes through. You'd reckon that he's missed for sure. There's just nothing to sort of lift.
Yes, they don't look as if they're being inspired by each other here. And when you're playing away with no home support, you need personal inspiration from within.
65 to 43. Good goal by Hart. Clark down to Voss. Voss off one leg to centre half forward. Johnson, well, tried something a bit flashy. Hickmott has had the better of him. Silvani beautifully played. McKay, well done to Ratton. The Blues have answered every time today. Bradley, tackled by Clark, was good. Hart tried to give it to Voss. He breaks the line, should handball to Lambert. He does. Lambert inboard to Carter. Carter picked it up on his toes. Goes for goal from 50. Keating's there with Sexton. Sexton holds it up as a behind. Over the line. There's a good contest there between Keating and Sexton.
And more importantly for Brisbane, it was perhaps the first time we've seen a genuine turnover across their half-forward line through the defensive efforts of their forwards.
Silvani to Sexton, was a good kick. Got good distance and he found the right man. Kudafidi short. Sexton's kick not good. Ashcroft should give it to White. White could give it across to Carter. Carter should kick a goal. 45 metres out. Floats the ball in. That's not strong or good enough. They really should have run it through. And McKay takes the mark. Maybe Brisbane is making its dash now, but it's 9-11 to 6-8.
Needed more punch on the ball there from young Carter. Silvani finds Hickmott. He's off. Kicks wide, looking for Allen. Too tall for Hart. So Matthew Allen gives it across to Bradley. He's been a terrific player. Along with Luke O'Sullivan. Dean, strong arm tactics. Just pushed off his opponent. Back to Hickmott. To McKay, who goes wide. Whitnell's the target. Too much carry on the ball. He needs a kind bounce. He's got Danny Dick Voss to beat. That's tough. Lambert. Carlton fans wanted a free for holding. Ashcroft's got 2 to beat. Turner speed. Gets support from Bradshaw. This is better from the Brisbane Lions. Back to White. Kicks to the half-forward line. He's got Johnson loose. He's got it. So Johnson is right on 50. He's got Keating in the square. Lepage also. And he's got Carter short. And the kick's a shocker. So the Blues happy. Just paddle the ball over the line.
Gee, it's a bit harsh, but one Fitzroy player to another one there. I know that's really tough, but Chris Johnson a moment ago just refused to chase.
Well, he was 150 metres behind his opponent. Obviously thinks those rules are for everybody else, but that was pretty poor. He got it on the rebound, but in the end, I reckon John Northey would be considering whether he's deserving his spot on the ground.
Good tackle by Peter Dean. So a chance for Brisbane, just 25 metres out. They trail 44 to 65, just 21 points. This is an important play. Allen went up before acceptances. Voss, quick snap. Out of bounds.
One of the hardest things in football is to really lift yourself after a poor start, and Michael Voss had that in the first quarter, and he really has just dug deep and dragged something out of himself. He's not playing at his best, but he really is giving the Lions a lift and some leadership.
Brown, Sexton, Kernahan, Bradley. Good build up by the Blues. They do need a steadying goal. Bradley runs a long way, too far.
Just took that little bit too much time to steady and paid the price. 15 metres is as far as he can go, and Darren Goldspink correctly said he'd run too far.
Probably the fact, John, too, he took an actual long time to kick the ball at the end. He stuttered at the end, which made it even, accentuated the point even greater, didn't it? Lappin, Lynch versus Koutafidis. Well, you know he'd be back in that contest today. It was a pretty poor kick by Lappin. Didn't give Lynchy much chance, but Alice is having a quiet one. The Rhino's not. He is. It's been a beauty. McKay. Tristan Lynch. Trask. They didn't use Ashcroft. Could have. Koutafidis to mop up. Kicks to centre half forward. Just a floating old kick. One hand by Bradshaw. Okay to Clark. They've got a chance here, Brisbane. To Hart. To Fletcher. Fletcher to half forward. Lepage fell over. Not at the right time. He's disappointed with the kick. And Silvani's away. Williams is wide. Hart's going to try and chase him. Hickmott out there as well. Here's the Diesel at half-back. Kicks it well to Allen. Allen makes it at half-forward. So Carlton quickly turn it back. Oh, bad handball to Bradley. He has got a bit of time. In ball to Williams at centre wing. Centres the ball to Whitehead. A training drill, wasn't it? Bradley, Williams, Whitehead, Murphy. Has a chance to goal. He's such a good kick.
Yes.
That's one.
That is a huge kick.
Well, I don't reckon the Blues are going all that well, but every now and then they show a bit of class. And that's been the difference, 10-11 to 6-8.
Well, you nominated that one pretty early, Bruce, and very accurately. He is a massive kicker, the drop punt, Justin Murphy. He's one of those players that doesn't have to get much of the football to be of value, playing out of that forward pocket. If you can get 2 goals, you've had a fair day. 3 a beauty, 4 an absolute ripper, and he's got 2 goals from 4 kicks.
Carlton extend the lead to 27 points. Couple of goals to Justin Murphy. Williams try to crash his way out. Lambert to Ashcroft, still inside the centre square, making hard work of it. The Brisbane Lions. Kicks a long bomb. Sexton's hard to beat. Hickmott's been quite good across half-back as well. We've always got the numbers. Sexton, a great defender, to Bradley, who's been carving him up. Kicks long, deep to 50. Lappin made plenty of ground. Their disposal into the forward line's been poor. It's let down Brisbane today. So Lepage comes away from the back half. Finds Lambert. They can raffle this wide. Lappin will go over the top. Finds Bradshaw all the way down from full back and chips it to Johnson.
Lynch to full forward.
Can they make something out of this? He goes bang and crashes straight into his opponent. And Hickmott is caught under tremendous pressure from the Blues. It was poor play by Johnson. Couldn't make up his mind whether to kick it or handball it.
Well, I think in the end, KB tried to tunnel ball, handball it between the Carlton players' legs. Have a look.
That's right.
Well, it was the one before that, but in the finish, you just can't play that style of champagne football in the AFL these days.
It's a wasted opportunity. Ratton, tackling's ferocious, kicked off the ground by Trask. No place for faint hearts. Ratton to Bradley. to Fraser Brown to Kuda-Fides. Big four, come away. Kuda goes short. Williams trying to take a one-hander. The Rhino's got it. Can he get those thunder thighs going? Williams is caught, bundled over by Lambert. It's a big play. Back into the centre square. And we've got a ball up.
Well, I was going to say earlier that structurally, if the Lions were going to make a change, it would have to be Keating off, because Michael Sexton has really just won every one-on-one contest. And John Northey's affected that change now and brought Brett Voss back onto the ground to match it up with Sexton.
I think Lambert off for the blood. Just some better signs over the Lions in the last few minutes. Their tackling's been a bit better. Disposals have also been ordinary, but good effort in the last couple of minutes here. The Blues threatening to break it away. Lambert, no big possessions today, but he's just touched the ball a bit more in the third quarter. He's had 3 kicks and 12 handballs. Carter comes on.
Well, we're
Gerard.
We're at the halfway mark of the season, Bruce. 4 wins at the present time for the Lions. You would doubt that if they can't get up here that they're going to make the final 8. It's a very big task they've got, but by golly, the stakes are at their highest.
Got 6 more games at home, I think. I'm right in saying that. They've won 4 out of 5 at home so far. They did it a couple of years ago under Robert Walls late in the year, but you doubt whether they'll repeat that. Bradley. Taken by O'Sullivan, who's just been a standout. Bradley's been terrific too. O'Sullivan, Manton. No free kick. Free kick coming. High tackle. So Manton at half forward. It's getting quite dark here. Kicks to centre half forward. Murphy. Kernahan, left foot not so good. Fletcher's got it in the back pocket.
6 minutes of action left in this third term. Fletcher kicks wide. Bradley.
Jumper held in the marking
Clark.
contest.
So Clark will take it. Bradley's had 25 possessions. O'Sullivan 23. Been big winners for Carlton. We can see being held on to there by Manton. Hart's got it between wing and half forward. Kicks up. He's looking for Lynch on the forward line. He's got it. That's a good grab. He's had a tough day at the office. Started in defence. Just kicks a high ball. White, the high flyer. Couldn't take a specky. McKay had it, lost it. Here's Kuda. Could be kicked off the ground by Johnson. He's missed. Opportunity gone begging. Kick 1 goal too as Dean quickly brings the ball back to Brown. So the loose play has been set up to Silvani. Kicks the ball back to Hickmott. It's been very, very good. Half-back seems to be his position. The kick was a poor one. It lands in the arms of Williams.
Diesel thought it was spot on.
Goes wide looking for Welsh. Spent most of the game on the interchange. Back to Sexton. He's already kicked a goal playing in defence. Wobbles it down to Murphy. The long arm stretches out from Danny Dick Voss. And we've got a ball up.
They look threatening, don't they, Carlton, when they get to the front line of attack with Whitnell and Murphy, Kernahan early. So the Lions unable to make any impression here. Carlton have stretched its lead. Williams looking for a free kick. Fletcher with him. Now Kernahan and also McRae. Chapman got it from McRae but kicked it straight into Carter. Williams tunnels it back. Did he throw it? Chapman, good handball actually to McRae. Now McRae on his wrong leg and he has to kick to the space because there are no lines there at all. And he finds the boundary line. So it's a good effort in the end. Boundary throw in. There's Tristan Lynch.
Yes, he started on the wing, finished at half back. John, you would suggest if we were at Edgbaston at the present time, the central umpires would be looking at the light meters.
You'd certainly be looking. It's getting darker and darker as we speak. It's getting very bad.
Welsh and also Clark. Welsh works him underneath and tries to barge through McRae. Well done by the Lions. Forcing forward Carter. McRae with him Brown. McRae looking for a free kick. He kept at it. Dean courageously. wins the ball and then comes away. They love it, the fans here, to Manton. Good effort at the back though by Lynch, taken by Dean. Dean running forward to Murphy and Chapman. Murphy has a go, Chapman belts away. Back to Kernahan, he's got Koutafidis. Kernahan goes with a high ball to fall forward. Whitnell's always a chance here. He was held on to. Williams will kick the goal. It was a free kick anyway. And that's the ball game, you'd reckon. I know it's the third quarter, but the Blues have broken it open, 11-11 to 6-9.
And was that the Rhino going through there?
That was Dean.
Dean had a very good game. He was on Bradshaw earlier. I thought that he may have been troubled by his pace, but Bradshaw yet to kick a goal. Dean once again a star. Free kick was there against Danny, but Williams to mop up.
And the Diesel has had 19 possessions and has kicked a couple of goals. So Welsh having a turn in the ruck. Fletcher for Brisbane, up inside 50, McKay. His half-back line has been superb for Carlton. Just belts the ball back towards the wing. Lappin at ground level, Fraser Brown pounced on it. Here's Bradley. Been sensational again. Kicks the ball out in front this time, too much carry for Whitnell. Lepage started at full forward, now in defence. Young Trask is playing his second game. Tough initiation, Optus Oval against the Blues. A little bit bewildered. Has to kick the ball, says the ump. So he kicks to the big pack of players. The fist there was from Dean. Ratton picks up the loose ball, finds Sexton. They break wide. Carlton players not frightened to run. The hand pass was brought from Whitehead. Silvani goes short and finds the Diesel. So possession number 20.
Look for Kernahan.
A low trajectory kick, didn't really come off the boot. So Lepage just thumps the ball back in hope. And he's found him in Hart. Now he's got wide, he's got Johnson wide, he's spotting, that's great vision. Johnson should run into the open goal, bangs it through. It's kick 2.
Well, it was a genuine rebound goal, that one, and we saw the Blues with possession. Williams, looking as he generally does for Kernahan, didn't quite penetrate the defence, and that was better work by the Lions. They got numbers back into Kernahan's space. I mean, it's a 90% chance of Williams kicking into Kernahan. Block his space, rebound, Johnson on the end.
77 to 51, 11-11 to 7-9. Clark never quite got a run at that one. Brown caught up by Fletcher, good tackle. McRae's been handy. Kick out of the centre to centre half forward. This is where they've struggled all day, hasn't it? I know that Johnson's kicked a couple, but Hickmott's had the better of that duel. McKay's been supreme, Dean, Silvani. They really had, and Sexton, they haven't been troubled. Just 7 goals in the first 3 quarters is a testimony to that. Here's Hickmott. High ball to centre wing. Fletcher takes the mark. Cooter didn't go there. Now Lynch is on a lead. Fletcher kicks the ball out very wide. Lynch and Silvani. Silvani beats him. Out of play.
You've got to take the half-back line of Carlton out of play, and the way to do that is to run the ball through the middle of the ground and then just penetrate over the top of it. They haven't been able to do that. They've been under pressure coming out of the back line, the Lions, and their long bombs to centre half forward have just been repelled. Bradley
to Williams, back to Bradley, the old firm in action. Foot on the accelerator. Bradley kicks long inside 50. Kernahan's in his sights. Ground level, Chapman finds Fletcher. Across to McRae, so the loose player's been set up once more. Things are happening now for Brisbane late in this third term. That kicks a shocker. Lynch caught well behind Silvani. Now on the rebound. Sexton nearly ran down by Kennedy. It's 2 against 1. Lions should win out. Lappin was clever play by Dick Foss. Back to Kennedy. Centre wing. So under 30 seconds left. So this is a last gasp effort here by Brisbane to score. The high flies. Johnson at the back. Johnny Russo.
Tim Shearer obviously didn't believe that any one particular player had the strongest purchase. From here, it looked as though Johnson had most of it, but Hickmott's come up with the ball. Here it is here. Oh, look, everybody's got it. Good bounce.
Good decision, umpire.
So at three-quarter time, 11-11-77 Carlton, Brisbane 7-9-51. They trail by 26 points. And that man there, Matthew Clark, will have to play a big last term. And Murphy, what a great goal he kicked, Jared.
Yes, he's a huge drop punt. John Northey would come down to the
Final term about to start at Optus Oval. We need a big finish here because it's been forgettable a lot of this match today. Clark wins it, but Williams has been good. Ratting off the side of his boot to centre wing, so nothing going there. Bradshaw running hard for the Lions. First touches here are going to be pretty important. McRae's kick, hugging the boundary line, out of play. Gerard, I think that Brisbane could get discouraged here. They do need the first goal.
Yep.
They need a few things to happen right for them, don't they?
Yeah, they need a couple of lucky breaks and a couple of lucky kicks into that forward line. If they get the first goal and then maybe the second, then perhaps they can pull off a remarkable victory. But you would think if Carlton get the first, the heads will drop and it'll be all over.
Well, the reality now, they're probably going to have to kick as many goals in this quarter to win the match, and they've kicked in 3.
Yep.
You reckon Carlton will get a couple at least, so they're going to have to kick 6 or 7 to win. They've only kicked 7 in 3, so it's going to have to be a lift somewhere. Brown, Hume. I think the point that we're making also is that Carlton is not going all that well. It's not as if they're playing at their top. They haven't had a huge match themselves. McLaren, Goldschmidt, Shearer, the umpires, 11:32 and 46. So they've just left the gate open a couple of times. Fletcher caught by Bradley, out of play. Midfield for Carlton has been good. Bradley and Williams have had a lot of the ball.
28 possessions to Bradley, 4 marks, and Greg Williams also has had 22 with 5 marks and 2 goals. So ball up on centre wing. McKay, part of that great half-back line for the Blues. You see the marks being taken by O'Sullivan, who's been a star. Got the Blues rolling in the first quarter. Hasn't stopped. Kicks a long bomb. Murphy's good overhead. He's got it. Averages 5 marks a game.
And right at the moment, he's playing the role that Brad Pearce played in their last premiership year, 1995, just leading out, following Kernahan up the ground at times, or whoever's playing at full forward, and he's so strong overhead and a very good kick at goal.
This time off target.
But occasionally misses.
Justin Murphy. He's kicked 2 goals, 1. Dick Voss to bring the ball back.
Find some space wide. Good kick to Ashcroft. Ashcroft on to Lappin. Lappin started this match very slowly. Has built a bit. Kicks to centre wing. Not bad. Good chance there for Clark. Looked to be interfered with. Gets a free kick. He's going to be a key here, Clark. He just runs all the time. Gets his hands on the ball. If he can get a big last quarter going, then maybe. Pops the ball up to full forward. Dean front spot. Lynch trying to get a run of it. Silvani at the back. Johnson pushing forward with him. Hickmott into the pocket, out of play. Boundary throw in. Brisbane in attack, left forward pocket. They trail 11-12 the Blues, 7-9 the Lions. White looks like he might do the ruck work against Allen. He's got a good vertical leap, White, so he might not be... it was good play by him, trying to get it down to Lambert. Silvani just gets away from Lynch very easily. Out to Allen. Allen on to Ratton. Ratton in the back pocket. Away he goes. Getting the ball close to the line. Lappin made it in front of O'Sullivan and takes the mark. But he's a long way from home. Centres the ball. Danger for Ashcroft, but good mark. Koutafidis in late. Now can Ashcroft set something up? Goes for White. White a target. Got good stretch. His hang time is pretty impressive, isn't it? He holds himself in the air. And Carlton looked to have the drop on him there, the 2 defenders, but White's athleticism stood him in good stead here. Dean coming hard. Allen. Well, he's got an unusual kicking style. He sort of walks in normally. He's a fair way out. 52 metres. Hooked it, looking for distance. Nothing happening, and Hickmott, unopposed, takes the mark. 78-51.
So the ex-Cat kicks the ball out wide. It's going to be brought back.
Tim Shearer actually blew time on to drag the Lions player back 4 or 5 metres on the mark because he has to give him that benefit when he brings the ball into play from behind the goal line.
So take 2, he finds Allen. Still in the back pocket. Goes back to Hickmott. So they're waxing. So Brisbane, they need to manufacture a goal, and Johnson has chipped in. So some fiddling around there by Carlton. This is a poor kick. Johnson let himself down in the side, and Bradley's got it. Across half back, Hickmott, who's knocked up winning possessions. Williams has made space. He did it well. Marks in front of Tristan Lynch. So the Diesel. He's won plenty of the ball. 6 marks. This is his 23rd possession. He's kicked 2 goals. Pops it up in front. Kernahan's out. He's got 2 to beat at ground level. Oh, great play, Kernahan. Desperate. That's why he's been so great over the years.
Yeah, good effort here, because they had numbers again, the Lions. Kernahan tapping it out against the flow. Clark, free kick coming here, going to Brisbane.
Holding in the marking contest as the signal given. There was a slight locking of arms, but Matthew Allen obviously didn't think there was enough in it to pay the kick, but Darren Goldspink nevertheless given the free kick to Matthew Clark.
Interesting though that Carlton didn't have that defensive side of Matthew Clark covered. They had 2 options there, Brisbane, and 90% of the time that's where Matthew Clark will hit it.
Goes short to Fletcher. There's been so little penetration in Brisbane's game. Again to Ashcroft, but they're still a long way from home, and they're needing a lot of possessions to even threaten the goal at the moment. Ashcroft inboard. White's going to be the target by the look of it. Went one hand, goes to ground. Ratton and Dean. Dean tried to go off the ground, didn't get it out very far. Back to Johnson. Johnson's handball good to Leppich. Shrugs a man off with a bounce. Hasn't had a shot for goal yet today. Handball was pretty average to Lambert. Lambert missed the body. Back to Lambert. He took a long time to get hold of it. Hickmott got in there. Hume got in there. Brisbane again fumbling under pressure. And O'Sullivan's away to Brown.
And Fraser Brown goes up towards Ratton. To Whitehead. Gets it back to Bradley. Tries to set it up. Here's Hume, comes through the edge of the centre square, kicks inside 50. It's very dark for the players, taken by Dick Voss, gives it across to Lynch, back to Lappin. So Brisbane just need a score. Kicks out wide, finds Leppich. Centre wing position, 78 plays 51.
And once again being held up on centre wing, making it just almost impossible to get the ball into their forward line.
Lose by 27, McRae does well over the top of Koutafidis. Looks very much like an Indian spin bowler at the moment. McRae, smack bang in the centre of Optus Oval. It's a torpedo. Silvani couldn't take it in front of Lynch. Sexton's been great all day. Was he legged? Back to Bradley. What a game he has played. Goes wide and finds Justin Murphy. They can set it up. Allen's got it. Looks for Williams. Half volley, couldn't take it. Lynch feeds it off to Clark. Goes wide to Voss. Brett Voss. Back to Fletcher. They need a goal, the Lions. Over the top to Hart. Can he manufacture a goal? Kicks to the goal square. Pushing back Silvani. It's a mark to Lynch. Now, can he kick a goal? He's had a bad day at fullback. Not a lot has gone right for him up on the forward line. Seven kicks and the 3 handballs. Trail by 27 points. A big play for Brisbane. Alistair Lynch. 15 metres out. Kicks a goal.
Well, they've got one. If they can get another one, all of a sudden they start to believe in themselves, the Lions. It was a pretty good mark, this one. Just a great battle, one-on-one with 2 players wrestling. I think that's a skill in itself, and maybe the players, when it is a 50-50 scenario, should be able to just grapple with each other as long as somebody's not taking another person out of the contest. That was pure strength.
John Northey and Roger Merritt in the foreground there. 8-9 to 11-12. Brown's handball, maybe a bit lucky. Sexton gets a handle on it now, then belts it to centre half forward. Manton got through him, his Bradshaw. The little chip kick's a good one. Chance here for the Lions. McRae's been all right all day, I reckon. Hart to try and shepherd and does a good job. McRae with 3 bounces. He's still on his wrong side. Bad kick. Well, that's disappointing. But Johnson bringing up the rear with Hickmott. And still Ratton to Hume. Hume off the side a bit, but maybe giving the benefit to Manton. Made a blue. Taken by Brown. Brown chips wide to Williams. This is where Carlton has been good all day. Every time Brisbane's kicked the goal, they've got one back. Diesel at 60 metres. Inboard. No. Lappin cuts it off. He's having a fair last quarter, Lappin. Diesel was looking for Murphy. Lappin out wide. The kicks to Ashcroft. Good mark against Manton.
He's got Voss running up the middle of the ground. This 19 or 18 point barrier, or thereabouts, has been very difficult for Brisbane to breach. Carlton have been able to maintain about that 4-goal difference right from the probably quarter time.
Yeah, they've had that cushion, haven't they? Lambert to Hart, Hart to Johnson inside. Carlton with numbers, taken by White. White's left foot, out on the full. Brisbane in attack, but unable still to make much impression on the board. They're just tantalisingly close enough, aren't they, to keep us on the edge of our chairs. And by the way, Kevin, when's the last time India played a spin bowler with blonde hair and was 6'4"? Your call. I've been waiting for that.
As long as he's had a turban on his head, you can get away with anything. Ratton to Hume. Kicks wide and finds Williams. So the Diesel has racked up the possessions today. That's a great kick to Kernahan. So Sticks has got it. He's a good 70 metres out. Pops it in the air. He's looking for Whitehead's made ground. Got his fingertips onto it. Kennedy did well. Tied it up. Spent some time on the interchange bench after starting in defence. Clark down to Lambert. It was short. Lappin got Bradley to beat. Few have beaten him today. Trask. It's a hurried kick. Tumbles over the line for a boundary throw in. Now the youngster there on screen just playing his second game of AFL football. Johnny Northey with Roger Merritt. 78 plays 57. Clark gets it down to Lappin, who has been pretty good in this final term. He's a ball carrier. Kicks the place. Out wide. He's got Bradshaw. Just needs a kind bounce. Gets it. They need some hard runners to give him an option. Johnson. Edge of the centre square.
Must deliver here, Johnson. It's been pretty wasteful. That kick to centre half forward, okay. Lynch front spot. White took it beautifully. Back to Hart. Hart with a chance, but put under pressure. High ball to the pocket. Dean underneath it. And has it been paid? No. Handball to Brown. Brown under pressure. Back to McKay. The Blues just get away with it in the end.
It was a brilliant second effort. I'm not sure if it was by Silvani. It may have been Williams to just get a hand in on Sean Hart's kick, making it go straight up in the air.
Because he had some hope there.
He did, certainly did. Couldn't quite pick up the jumper. Whilst the screen is pretty well clear, it is very black here.
Kennedy. And it's going to be a bounce. Dipper, you're probably listening to me. What about the darkness around the ground? I mean, is it noticeable at your level?
It is pitch black down here, and people actually complain they can't see the ball, so the players must have some sort of difficulties when it's been caught up in the crowd.
Clark over the top of White. Lambert can't quite break the tackle. Back to Ashcroft. Ashcroft with Whitehead. And Carlton are closing it up, aren't they, with numbers at the moment, and they know that if they can just keep putting a hand on a Brisbane Guernsey, they're going to hold it up. But the Lions looking for a way through. Still got time, but not a whole lot now. They can't afford to spend 3 minutes on the forward line and not score a goal at this stage of the match. Free kick going to the Lions. Well, this might help them.
That did look soft. free kick paid in the ruck contest, and it just didn't look as though there was a substantial, although it's paid to White.
I think he might have just...
maybe he's a better kick at goal.
That's what I think.
Well,
I think he might have just flicked it over quickly.
Nobody's looking. Quick, you take it.
arguably the most important kick of the match from Brisbane's point of view. To give them some hope, you'd think. Has he got it? He has. They're not without a chance. This game is not over. That's the closest I reckon Brisbane has been since the first quarter. 11-12 to 9-9. And the thing is, Jared, we have a little free kick. Where's White?
Yeah, well, White's nowhere near it. There isn't.
Peter Dean.
Oh, Dean. Oh,
Jeez. If it's a push in the back to White, then it's certainly soft. And how would you see it from the front of the the ruck contest anyway? Because he was obscured by the two ruckmen.
Well, Carlton led by 26 points at quarter time, 22 at half time, 26 at three-quarter time. They now lead by 15 points. So Brisbane, can they pull off a big win? There's Lambert with his head heavily bandaged. .78 plays 63. Bradshaw caught by Brown. Fletcher did well. Here's McRae. Brisbane Lions won't lie down. Out in front. White couldn't hang on to it. Silvani to Sexton. We've seen that many times today. Kicks up towards the half-forward line. Hamill's there. Tries to slap the ball towards the boundary. Voss, desperate. On hands and knees. Hamill does well. Back to Williams. Tumbles the ball forward. Kernahan. Too much carry also for Kennedy. Recovers well. To Clark. Running on is Kennedy. Kicks long out of defence. Ratton sets himself. Punched away by Tristan Lynch. We've got a ball up.
Well, that spearing kick into White across that half-forward line really would have set the game alight, because if you had marked that and converted, all of a sudden we've got a 9-point deficit, and that clearly is gettable.
Clark wins the tap. Oh, not a good option at all by McRae. It was no percentage, was there? Very, very high percentage to try and keep the ball in with what he was doing, and he's given it up to Williams. So the Blues are paddling here on 11 goals, but they're holding their lead. Kudafiti's a target with Ashcroft. He's got the mark. It was a beautiful kick by Williams, who's had a good match today, Greg. Kuda's been okay. He's threatened to take it by the scruff of his neck. That's a shocking kick. Kernahan, Murphy, forward, taken by Kernahan, goes back. Chance for Sexton. Could he kick his second? Dick Foss should take it. He does. Plays on. Comes out wide. Kicks the ball. Not good kick to Bradshaw, who's been all right at the back. Official attendance today, 27,368. They're starting to yell. Bradley gives a little shove on Fletcher. It's been great, Bradley. He's near the line. His handball, not so good. McRae, important player in the last quarter. Possession's important. Kicks him board to Ashcroft. Well cut off though by Whitehead. Kudafiti's okay to Sexton. Goes long. Kernahan wants a big mark. Kennedy with him. Dick Foss, well done. Got back into the hole and took the mark. And now it's the Blues, Jared, that are having all sorts of trouble scoring.
Yes, they're because their midfielders are under pressure, but Dick Foss has really got to get this ball moving.
And he does just that, Jared. He gets it across to Lappin. Spears it to Fletcher. They should win it. Cross half back, slips over that critical moment. Goes straight back over the line, and he's been pinged.
It is amazing, isn't it? Under enormous pressure, players still revert to the safety of that back boundary line.
Bradley's got sticks in his sights. Playing in front. Was that a free kick? We'll go to Danny Dick Foss.
This is a good player, Dick Foss. He's just a high percentage defender.
Makes few mistakes. Ever reliable. Time clock ticking away. Just on 6 minutes left. So Dick Foss goes short. So he finds Tristan Lynch, who kicks the ball wide to Kennedy.
You get some runners from Brisbane prepared to run into the space.
Brisbane won't go away. Kicks a long bomb down towards the half-forward line. Peter Dean. The veteran's got it. They love him here at Carlton. The defence has been outstanding today. So Dean pumps the ball back. Kernahan up high, punched away, pounced on by Kennedy. He was caught. Lambert feeds it out to Ashcroft. Here come the Lions. Ashcroft, it's a poor kick. And Hickmott, who's formed this very, very strong back line today, gives it away to Whitehead.
Whitehead's kick to centre wing's pretty good. Finds Allen. He had Sexton or Allen. So again, the Lions wasteful going forward.
Yeah, Marcus Ashcroft had the opportunity to run 20 metres and kick it over those three Carlton defenders, but not the case.
Bradley did well to hold it up. Hamill back to Bradley. Silvani at about 40 metres, hooks it. And he missed a lot, I think, Stephen does, out on the fall.
Just tipped the top of the post on the way through. So he's just about missed everything, old Sauce.
He's had a good match, Silvani. One mistake in the second quarter, but gee, we're all entitled to that. What a great player he is. Kennedy's kick to half-back. Fletcher was a big flyer. Voss, who's had one good quarter. Ashcroft slung off it. Ratton off the ground. Back to Kennedy. Should get the bounce to suit. He does. Takes too long. Just gets his kick, but he was held up because he maybe had no one working for him. I don't know, but it took forever. Hume's got it.
He's on centre wing. Just pops it up looking for Kuda. The hero of Carlton's got it. He's kicking from right on 50. He's kicked 2 goals, both coming in the first half.
It was a pretty good effort by Marcus Ashcroft to get down there and make it a challenge, but Kuda just too athletic. Great grab.
So Kuda Feedes from right on 50. So not going to quite come back. It's a marking contest, and Dick Voss has got it again. He's been good under pressure.
Danny, Dick Voss has gone behind the scoring line to take his kick. Steve Kernahan's pulled back 5 metres. Now Dick Voss has to bring the ball into play over the mark.
26 years of age, just his second year of AFL football. Kicks out wide. It's a big play.
It's a let out.
White gives it across to Fletcher. Time's running out for Brisbane. Kicks down towards Lambert. McKay too good.
It's been almost faultless today, McKay. Spent the whole of last year in Brisbane studying. Kicks to centre wing. White, handball under pressure, back to Brown's. Had a quiet one, Fraser. Bradley's been fantastic. O'Sullivan, well done by Lambert. The Rhino back to McKay. Got him, Lambert. Johnson with the ball. Takes a couple on. Chip pass for Hart. If it sits and he kicks a goal, we've got a match. Hart about 35 metres out, goes for goal and misses. Hit the behind post on the full. It's a point. It's out on the full, sorry, I should say. Quick kick away by the Blues. So just the Lions have teased all day, haven't they?
Yeah, that kick of Hart's, whilst he was perhaps within his rights to have a shot at goal, he did ignore 2 vacant players 20 metres out top of the square.
Williams has been fantastic. He's been a great player today, Williams. Marks at half-back.
He finds Sexton to Whitehead. Runs to the centre wing, pops it in the air. There he is again, Danny Dick Voss. What a last quarter. He's taken 6 marks. Finds Fletcher centre wing. Goes down towards the half-forward line. Looking for Lynch. It's been tough all day. Sexton has been impassable. Kicks back towards the centre wing. Allen, too tall. Back to Williams. 30 possessions today. And here's his partner in crime in Bradley. 35 possessions. To Hume, the youngster. Spears it in. Looking for Murphy. Kernahan gets the bounce. Round the corner. Out of bounds on the full.
A lot of kicks, hadn't he, Kernahan? 17. Wouldn't have had 17 kicks too often.
Kicked 2 goals in the first quarter, Kernahan. Under 2 minutes of action left.
So time against the Lions now. Chapman's high ball to half-back. I think any chance of winning is gone. They've had chances to go forward in the last quarter. Kudafidi, centering kick is a good one. Dick Voss has played a magnificent last term, belts it away. Brown looking for a free kick. Handball out was okay. Hume's little handball. Rhino, this will bring the house down. He's done it. Well, fitting, I reckon. Look, that fella should kick it.
Yeah, I think so, Bruce. He had about 21 possessions in the first half, so he's slowed down a lot in the second half, but he's coming off the ground now. I mean, he certainly did set it up in the first half.
Well, Brisbane weren't without their opportunities in the last 5 minutes. They've worked hard to get themselves back into this game, but just as they have done all afternoon, lack the polish to really take up the opportunities. Rhino a beauty.
There's O'Sullivan on the bench. Manton's just come on to replace him. 28 possessions to the Rhino. Kick-started Carlton in that first quarter. He was brilliant across the half-forward line. Welch down to Williams. Back to Bradley. Leather poisoning for Bradley today. Tumbles it forward. Lappin. His last quarter's been his best. Kicks to space. Ashcroft. Got Johnson for support. To Lambert. Chips wide. Ashcroft. So the Lions come forward. They've fallen down across half forward all day. And there's another example. Their kicking into the forward line has been dreadful. Koutafidis. And on the rebound, they've got Dean. To Sexton. Loose player. Is Fraser Brown. Is on centre wing. The Blues now in full flight. Kernahan wanted in front. It's been ignored. So Fraser. That's a great kick. You just wait for Manton to fill the gap in between. Back to Hume. Picked up a few possessions, a youngster. Kicks a poor one. Chapman slaps it forward. Here comes White. Back to Murphy. Overruns it. Chapman to Voss. Great in the second term. Ashcroft. He's got it. Blues fans don't like it, but he's got it. There's the roar. Carlton's home.
The Blues by 21 points, 12-12 to 9-9. And one of their best today, Luke O'Sullivan, is with the Big Dipper.
Thanks very much, Bruce. Well, you're one of the crowd's favourites, Luke. Fantastic game by yourself.
It's a good win, you know. We knew we had to win this because if we can go to the halfway mark of the season, 7-5, we're in a pretty good spot.
And yourself, I mean, you've had a few wins over the years. Good to see you got the pace back, and you really got involved with the game today.
Yeah, it's good to string a couple together now. So if I can keep that going, hopefully it'll be good for me and good for the team.
It was a very frustrating game, wasn't it, today? Like, you know.
It was, yeah. I mean, you know, we just couldn't quite break away from them. They kept hanging in there, and you know, full credit to the Bears. But geez, we're happy to get a win.
And by the way, it's $1 because it's the Lions, and also the half-back line once again stood up for Carlton.
Oh yeah, I mean Sexton, Silvani, McKay, Dean, Whitehead, and these guys. I mean, you know, they're under the pump every week, and they just keep coming up with the goods.
Well, good to see you playing well, son.
Thanks, mate.
Well played.
All the best.
Yeah, good on you, Jim. Well done with Luke O'Sullivan, one of the great characters of AFL footy, whose perseverance is paying off in this year. There's Dean and Kernahan. Ratton. Maybe the Blues can build something from here, Jared, because it was a hard-fought win. They're 6-5. They've got St Kilda next week, in which is going to be a very big game.
Yes, out of Waverley, you'd be expecting a monster crowd out there, Bruce, but Carlton is still hanging in there. They really can go on and make a successful season out of this one after having a few wobbly moments in the first part of the year, but the Brisbane Lions now is the club under the pump with just 4 victories at the halfway mark.